Congressional leaders were briefed late today on what investigators have uncovered so far about Russian activities leading up to last November's election. FBI Director James Comey was part of that classified briefing on Capitol Hill today. I start with a question on the Russia investigation in part 2 of my interview with Vice President Pence. Understanding that all the intelligence officials who have talked about this, all the committee chairmen who have talked about the evidence so far, say they have found zero evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russians. Understanding that, there are these reports about these connections. Konstantin Kilmanek, a Ukrainian Russian with Paul Manafort, who meets with him and briefs him on Ukraine and apparently gets the plank out of the GOP platform. Are you concerned, as some of these reports come out, about connections with campaign officials?
Well, let me just say, I think we're very confident that the bipartisan congressional committees that are examining information that's been made available to them will arrive at the right conclusion and give the American people the facts. I think when the former director of National Intelligence said just a week ago that in the report he prepared by the end of the year there was no evidence of collusion between Russian officials and our campaign, I think that speaks with great authority. But look, I have to tell you, as I travel around the country and as we move forward in this campaign, I honestly believe that while Washington, D.C. seems at times preoccupied with these issues, the American people are really preoccupied with an economy that seems to be getting back on its feet. Nearly 300,000 jobs created in February. They're seeing a president energetically keeping his word to the American people to repeal and replace Obamacare, roll back regulations, authorize the Keystone and Dakota pipelines, and I think that focusing on the future of the American people and letting congressional committees examine any questions about the past is probably appropriate.
U.S. Marines are now on the ground in Syria. It seems like a big line that conventional troops are now there for all that we heard about the concern whether we were going to do that or not. What do the American people need to know about that operation, and how big is it going to be?
We never discuss troop movements. You know, as the father of a United States Marine, I can fully appreciate the importance of never signaling to the wider world where our troops are or aren't, or activities they're involved in, Brett. But the President has made it very clear that we intend to hunt down and destroy ISIS. We have more than 5,000 American servicemen and women in the battle in Mosul right now. And the American people can be assured that President Trump will keep his word to the American people, that we will take those steps that are necessary to destroy ISIS and destroy its ability to inspire violence here in the homeland or bring violence to our people or our allies.
But this is an escalation.
As I said, I think that the fact that we're involved in the battle in Mosul, I can confirm, but I can also confirm that President Donald Trump is absolutely committed to taking those steps that are necessary to destroy ISIS.
The story today that former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn has filed with the Department of Justice as a foreign agent for making more than $500,000 as a lobbyist essentially for Turkey. Your reaction to that, considering that, doesn't that mean, Mr. Vice President, that even if he didn't lie to you about what the Russian ambassador said or didn't say, that you would have had to fire him anyway?
Well, let me say, hearing that story today was the first I heard of it. And I fully support the decision that President Trump made to ask for General Flynn's resignation.
You're disappointed by the story?
The first I heard of it, and I think it is an affirmation of the President's decision to ask General Flynn to resign.
For the people out there who say this administration's not got its sea legs yet, that there's hollowness underneath the top appointments beyond what the Senate has done or not done in cabinet appointments, what do you say to them?
Well, I say we faced unprecedented obstruction by Senator Schumer and Democrats here in the United States Senate, and I think the American people are getting tired of it. We almost got our entire cabinet confirmed in one of the slowest processes in the history of this country. And now, as we go through the process of continuing to fill out our administration, our hope is that the American people will let their voice be heard, that they're tired of the games, they're tired of Senator Schumer and Democrats in the Senate slow-walking our team. President Trump was elected to advance an agenda to make America great again. We're proud of the team that we have. We've made great strides, but it's time for the Senate to stop playing games. Let's debate all the issues. Let's debate all the legislation. That's what the Senate is for. But the time has come for Senate Democrats to step up and let the President's team have their team, and we'll move this country forward.
And the other appointments below are going to happen.
They're going to happen, and we're working with Senate leadership to make them happen. But it's time for the games to end.
Mr. Vice President, we really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Brett.